Once upon a time, in a cozy little cottage near a big green forest, lived a mother pig with her three adorable little pigs. They were a very happy family, but the time had come for the little pigs to grow up and build their own homes. Mother Pig gave each of them a big hug and a kiss on the snout. "Be good, my little ones," she said. "Go out into the world, but remember, whatever you do, do it the very best you can. That's the way to be safe and happy." The three little pigs waved goodbye to their mother and set off on their adventure. They trotted down the sunny path, winking happily, excited to start their new lives. The first little pig was a bit lazy. He didn't want to work very hard. As he walked along, he met a man carrying a big bundle of straw. "Oh, that looks easy," he thought. "Please, sir," he oinked politely, "could I have some of that straw to build my house?" The man was kind and gave him a big pile. The first little pig quickly gathered the straw, and in just a few hours, he had built a house. It wasn't very strong, but he didn't care. "Hooray!" he squealed. "Now I can play for the rest of the day." And he danced a little jig outside his straw house. The second little pig walked a little farther down the road. He was a little less lazy than his brother, but he still wanted to finish his work quickly so he could go play. Soon, he saw a man with a cart full of sticks. Thought the second pig. A house of sticks would be stronger than straw and still pretty quick to build. So he asked the man for some sticks. The man gave him a large bundle, and the second pig got to work. He piled the sticks up, one on top of the other, and in about half a day his house was finished. It was a bit wobbly, but it looked like a house. Wonderful. He cheered. "My house is done, and there's still time to play before dinner." He ran off to find his brother. Now the third little pig was very sensible and remembered his mother's words. "Whatever you do, do it the very best you can." He knew a strong house was the most important thing. He walked past the fields of straw and the piles of sticks. He kept going until he found a man with a wagon full of heavy red bricks. "This is it," the third pig thought. "This will make a very strong house." He asked the man for some bricks. It was hard work. The third pig had to carry the heavy bricks, mix the cement, and carefully lay each brick one by one. It took him a long, long time. His two brothers came by, laughing. "Why are you working so hard?" they asked. "Come and play with us." But the third pig just shook his head. "I want to build a strong house that will keep me safe," he said, and he kept on working. Finally, after a lot of effort, the third little pig's house was finished. It had strong brick walls, a sturdy roof, and a big fireplace with a chimney. He was very tired, but also very proud. "Now," he said with a happy sigh, "my house is finished, and I know I will be safe inside." The next day, a big bad wolf came prowling through the forest. He was very hungry, and he was looking for a tasty snack. His sharp eyes spotted the first little pig's house of straw. The wolf crept up to the door and licked his lips. "I smell a little pig inside," he growled. He knocked on the door. Little pig, let me come in." The first little pig peeked out the window and saw the big bad wolf. He squealed in fright. No, not by the hair of my chin," he cried. The wolf grinned a wicked grin. "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in." He roared, and he took a giant breath, and he huffed and he puffed, and a great big gust of wind blew the house of straw all apart. Whoosh! The first little pig squealed and ran as fast as his little legs could carry him, all the way to his brother's house of sticks. The first little pig burst through the door of the stick house. "Quick, quick, the big bad wolf is coming," he shouted. The two pigs slammed the door shut just as the wolf arrived. The wolf chuckled when he saw the house of sticks. "Two little pigs in one house? Even better," he thought. He knocked on the door. Little pigs, let me come in. The two pigs shivered inside. No, no, not by the hair of our chinny chin chins. They shouted together. Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in. The wolf roared. He took an even bigger breath, and he huffed, and he puffed. The stick house began to shake and rattle. He huffed again, and he puffed again. And with a crash and a bang, the house of sticks fell to pieces. The two little pigs squealed with terror and ran for their lives. They didn't stop until they reached their brother's house of bricks. They pounded on the strong wooden door. Let us in! Let us in! The big bad wolf is after us! The third little pig opened the door quickly. His brothers tumbled inside, and he bolted the door tight just as the wolf came panting up the hill. The wolf was a bit tired, but he was also very cross. He saw the strong brick house and sneered. He thinks he's so clever, the wolf grumbled. He marched up to the door and banged on it. Little pigs, let me come in. All three pigs, feeling much safer behind the strong walls, called out, No, no, not by the hair of our chinny chin chins. The wolf was furious. Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in, he bellowed. So he huffed and he puffed. But nothing happened. The brick house didn't even wiggle. He tried again. He huffed and he puffed and he huffed and he puffed. He puffed so hard his face turned blue, but the brick house stood strong. The wolf was exhausted, but he wasn't ready to give up. He looked up and saw the chimney on the roof. He thought with a sly smile. I'll just climb up the roof and slide down the chimney. I'll catch them all. He quietly climbed onto the roof and crept toward the chimney. But the third little pig was not just hardworking. He was also very smart. He heard the scrabbling sounds on the roof and guessed the wolf's plan. Quick! He whispered to his brothers. He had a big pot of water boiling over the fire in the fireplace. Help me! Together they took the lid off the big pot of hot water. Just as the wolf started to slide down the chimney, he looked down and saw the bubbling pot below. Yikes! He yelped, but it was too late. Splash! He landed right in the pot of hot water. With a giant howl of surprise, he sprang back up the chimney, shot into the air, and ran away over the hills, never to be seen again. The three little pigs cheered. They were safe and sound. The first two little pigs turned to their clever brother. You were right, they said. It's always best to do your very best work. From that day on, the three little pigs all lived together happily in the strong little house of bricks. They learned that taking your time and doing a job right is the smartest choice of all, and they never forgot their mother's wise advice. Thank you for watching our story. We hope you had fun. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing adventures. See you next time.